Welcome, welcome. It's Eric Miller. We are at Frequently Asked Question Friday, where we get questions that we get frequently and we answer them on Friday. All right, here we go. So, what type of business entity should I create? Okay, so this is a question that we tend to get all the time, and there's just no right or wrong way to answer this question because there's so many different types of businesses. And there are small businesses, large businesses, and that's why we have all these different types of structures. So because each of them has certain characteristics that fit whatever your business is. So let me just try to unpack this a little bit and give you some of the basics. And if you need like more advanced help, you definitely go to your accountant or your attorney. But let's just run through some basics really quick. Okay, if you're creating some kind of a business structure, you're doing it for two reasons. Number one, you want to be able to control the taxation. Number two, you want to have asset protection. Now, when you look at the different types of structures that are available, let's start simply at the bottom, a sole proprietor or a partnership. So if I'm going to create a business as a sole proprietor or a partnership, I guess the benefit would be is that the money that I make in the business is going to pass through to me personally from a tax standpoint. I only have to pay tax one time. The disadvantage, of course, is that there's almost no asset protection. If something should happen, that I should do, some kind of a bad act, or I should hurt somebody, if there's something that's going to cause a liability condition, then I'm going to get sued personally, and that's no bueno. So how do you balance that? Okay, well, the next thing you would do is you would look at maybe creating what's called a corporation. So when you create a corporation, that would be something like an S Corp or a C Corp. And the benefit of that, of course, is that it's a little bit more legitimate. There is an immense amount of administration and cost and upkeep that you would need to kind of adhere to when you're creating a corporation. That you can scale the business easier. You can have shareholders. You can have a board of directors. You can have officers. You can be a legitimate business. The downside is that not all corporations shield you personally from any kind of liability or attack, especially if you're like a professional service, like a doctor or an attorney. You're still liable personally for anything that you do wrong. So it's good, but it's not, always perfect. Okay. Now, the last one that you've probably heard of, which is called a limited liability company. Now, this is a type of business structure that was created where it allows you, from a tax standpoint, to be extremely flexible, meaning that if you have an LLC, you can tax that LLC in one of four ways: as a sole proprietor, as a partnership, as an S Corp, or as a C Corp. So it kind of gives you the best of all worlds when it comes to taxation. From an asset protection point of view, there is a mechanism in an LLC in most states called a charging order, and that is the only remedy that a creditor or a judge would have against an LLC, forcing you to have to satisfy any kind of a creditor attack. Said another way, the benefits of an LLC offer you, from a taxation standpoint, flexibility while offering you personal protection if you should get sued for some reason for the business or for whatever investment you use the LLC for. Okay, I think my legal brain is a bit fried right now. All I can tell you is this. There is no perfect entity, but for most of the people that I'm talking to, which are private practice and business owners, having an LLC, having it taxed as either a partnership, an S Corp, or C Corp is generally going to be the way that you would want to go to maximize your personal protection and also give you some tax benefits along the way. Okay, that's it for today.